Solve the following quadratic inequality. X squared plus 2x minus 15 is greater than or equal to 0. Write your answer in interval notation. So to solve a quadratic inequality, the first thing we need to do is get everything to one side of the equation and have it set equal to 0. Since that's already occurred, the next thing that we'll do is factor that quadratic inequality. So the quadratic inequality, we can split x squared into x and x. 15 can split up into 3 and 5. And if the 5 is positive and the 3 is negative, they'll also add to positive 2. Now, we can't simply just set each factor greater than or equal to 0 and solve. That's not going to work, unfortunately. What we have to do is we have to take the zeros, and the zeros of this are going to be 3 and negative 5. We put those on a number line in order, and we test the intervals in between those zeros. So the test values here that I might use, and you can use other values, it doesn't really matter. So the test values here, on negative infinity to negative 5, I think the simplest would be negative 6. Then from negative 5 to 3, the easiest would clearly be 0, and then I'll use a 4 here. As long as they're on this interval, it doesn't matter what you use. So if I take negative 6 and I plug it into my quadratic, negative 6 minus 3 is negative 9. Negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1. So a negative times a negative results in a positive answer. Then 0 minus 3 is negative 3. 0 plus 5 is 5. That results in a negative value. 4 into my polynomial, 4 minus 3 is 1. 4 plus 5 is 9. A positive times a positive gives a positive answer. Now, I'm looking for values that are greater than or equal to 0. So clearly at the zeros of the polynomial, we're equal to 0, so we're going to include those. And then for greater than 0, it's any values that are positive. So on this interval here, and this interval right over here. So our final answer will be the values from negative infinity to negative 5, including, then from 3 to positive infinity.